Hello and welcome back to X-Plane 11. Thank you very much for joining me in this video, and today I'm going to start taking a look at this. This is the Beechcraft Duchess Model 76 by JustFlight. It costs £27.99 at the time of this recording, and I'm going to take a look at what this aircraft's like to fly, but I'm also going to be taking a look at the modelling, the texturing, the sounds, the avionics, the physics of it, basically everything that you need to know about a simulation quality aircraft. I'll be talking a little bit about the system specs. I'll be taking a look at the website and what they say is in the description, so the model, the cockpit, aircraft systems, liveries and any other features. And then I'll be going through in this episode anyway, I'll be taking a look at the cockpit, giving you a tour, getting ourselves familiar with it, and then after that we'll be, in the subsequent episode, we'll be taxiing, taking off and seeing what we can do and getting a really good feel for this aircraft. So make sure you stay tuned for the next couple of episodes to find out whether this aircraft is worth purchasing and just how good or bad, if it may be, it is. Right, starting off reading from the website, this is what they say on JustFlight. They say the Duchess is a four-seater twin-engine T-tail aircraft equipped with a retractable tricycle landing gear and two 180 HP four-cylinder engines fitted with constant speed propellers. Its IFR-capable avionics suite, excellent handling characteristics and counter-rotating propellers make it an ideal aircraft for multi-engine flight training and the perfect step up from single-engine aircraft such as the PA-28. Now the PA-28 is an aircraft that I particularly like. The Arrow 3 is generally my go-to aircraft for X-Plane, and indeed it was before for other simulators. A cruise speed of 155 knots, a range of 780 nautical miles, and a service ceiling of 20,000 feet also make it a very capable touring aircraft. The Duchess is flown all around the world, and our add-on reflects that global popularity. In addition to our UK research aircraft, which is Golf Bravo Zulu Romeo Tango, and Golf Charlie Charlie Lima, which I think is this one, the product features livery from the USA, Canada, France, Australia and Germany. So you've got liveries from across, I believe there are 11 liveries. I can just go through those 11 liveries right now. We've got Golf Bravo Zulu Romeo Tango. That's going to take a while to get used to, isn't it? Which is a UK one. We've got Golf Charlie Charlie Lima, which is this one here, another UK one. Bravo November Yankee Oscar, which is another UK one. Whiskey Alpha Charlie Juliet, another UK one. We've got November 671 Romeo, USA. We've got Delta Golf India Golf Yankee, German. Foxtrot Golf Charlie Lima Juliet, which is the French one. We've got Charlie Golf Tango Yankee Golf, Canada. The Australian one is Victor Hotel Kilo India. Spanish is Echo Charlie India November Charlie, and New Zealand is Zulu Kilo Juliet Echo Delta. So those are the liveries that you've got. It also comes with a paint kit, so you can very easily make your own liveries and get your own aircraft up there. Let's go, should we sit inside the aircraft instead of just doing an orbit? I think let's sit inside the aircraft. There we go. Let's take a seat. Okay. Other stuff that it says we've got, the Duchess Model 76 for X-Plane 11 features PBR materials with real-time environmental reflections for superb quality and realism, HD textures for the highest possible texture clarity, and numerous animations, including a multi-animation passenger door that, when opened, responds to G-forces and air resistance. Now, we do have the doors open at the moment. You can see right there. We've got one. I think the other one's open on the opposite side. We've got that one open. We also have the baggage door open at the back, but we haven't got any air resistance or anything like that at this point in time, so we don't actually see anything moving or any G-forces or anything like that. Moving on to the detailed description. So this is another part that I'm going to read, and then we'll go through system specs and then actually have a look, or start having a look at this aircraft. So it says accurately modelled Duchess Model 76, built using real-world aircraft plans and comprehensive photography of the real aircraft. Great. We've just gone through the numerous animations that we have. We also have sun visors and a cockpit window. I think one of the storm windows. over here. We've got a storm window right there. We've also got, it says here, ground equipment, including chocks and tie downs. So if we go outside again, that's a terrible one. If we click this button here, which is normally like that, but if I scroll down I can get rid of it, which is good, and I press that, why does it not want to do that for me? Well, normally it would give me chocks and tie downs. I think maybe my parking brake is not on. Yeah, that's what it is. My parking brake's not on. There we go. So something I've noticed about this is you do need to have your parking brake on. That should give me everything I want. There we go. Perfect. So there's our chocks and tie downs, which are pretty cool there. HD textures used to produce the highest possible texture clarity. Now I heard these are 4K textures. It's pretty high quality. It is pretty high quality overall, and you can just see the environmental reflections and the whole PBR materials with real-time environmental reflections, as you can see. There's also detailed normal mapping for down to the rivet precision of the aircraft features. So I guess we'll have to take a look at that as and when... Oh no, wait, you can just see it there. If you look there, you can clearly see the normal mapping actually working for us. That's really nice. It's very, very easy to see it there. So you can see that is a flat texture, but the normal mapping does give it the 3D bump that we're actually looking for, making it look like it is a 3D texture, which is fantastic. Obviously, it's not going to have it over the top of the wing because the top of the wing was bonded, not riveted, for a smoother aerodynamic airflow. So you can see that there are no rivets across the top of the wing, which is quite cool. That's looking very nice. Those normal maps work very, very well. Now, there is also supports for rain, but you do need one of these plugins, which I don't actually have. It's a free plugin, and it does give you instructions on how to get that, and that will give you all the rain effects that you want on your windscreen and on your windows, so on and so forth, which is really great. It's nice to see that JustFlight are actually providing support for free plugins to improve their aircraft without them having to do the work themselves, which makes sense. If you've got a really good plugin, then you might as well use that, and it essentially drops their costs. Though it wouldn't take too long to do the rain effects, it would still drop their costs, which is very nice, and drop their development time. Inside, it says the cockpit is a truly 3D virtual cockpit, right down to the accurately modelled seatbelts and screw heads. Well, we've got a seatbelt there. We've got a seatbelt there, which is pretty accurately modelled, and let's look for some screws. Yeah, they are Phillips screws. That's nice. A little bit flat there, but that's okay. There is a little bit of normal mapping. You can see it. You can just see some normal mapping there. It looks like a little bit. I'm sure with the sun in different angles we'll be able to see that a little bit better. Cockpit textures feature wear and tear based on reference photos taken in the real aircraft. So you can see the wear and tear all over the place actually. You can see down there, there's some wear. We've got some wear from the boots. We've got some wear on the throttle quadrant. I say throttle quadrant, it's not really a quadrant, is it? We've got some wear there, so you can see where that's scuffed against the side. Down there, some wear across there. That's very, very authentic. Makes the aircraft look like it has been used. A lot of wear there and there, as you would expect. Little bit of wear there. And the cleanest part is generally these bits here are the cleanest parts, where you don't really have much wear and tear because your hand's not rubbing across it. Nothing's really rubbing across it all too much. But there is some wear obviously around these areas, which is quite nice. I do wish that there was a clean version of it, as if it was a brand new aircraft or a fully restored aircraft. That would be really, really nice. Interactive engine start checklist that responds to user inputs and sim variables. So that's the checklist here. So if you click that, we've got a full set of checklists right here, which is great. I really like that. And we will be using that further on in this, perhaps not in this video, but in the next video. So that's interactive checklist for every stage of flight 2. Aircraft configuration system that will allow you to choose between cold and dark or ready for takeoff. So that's that button there. So if you're stationary on the ground, you can swap straight away between cold and dark and ready for takeoff. We're not going to be clicking that because we don't need to. We're going to start this aircraft up the proper way, or should I say the long way. If you want to just fly, you can just click that, get the aircraft ready, and off you go. We've got a fully functional and comprehensive IFL capable avionics kit. Now I'm not going to talk about that just yet. I'll go through this when I'm doing the cockpit tour in a few minutes time. We've got a flight computer. So if we click this one here, there's a flight computer right there, which is great. We've got the ability to change barometric units from inches of mercury to millibars. So I think if we look here, that's currently in inches of mercury. So you do that and that swaps it over to millibars. So at the moment we're at, what is that? 1021 millibars, which is 3011 inches of mercury, or 30.11, which is slightly above normal pressure. Standard pressure is 1013 millibars and 2992 if you want that in inches of mercury. We've got the option to activate the flashlight from within a pop-up window. Now I think that's one there, so that will give us a flashlight when it's actually dark. So that does help us. And then you've got a pop-up autopilot window as well, which is that there. You've got the Garmin window right there. You've got to sorting out the fuel and everything like that. You've got the weight and balance right there. And then you've got your sound window right there, as well as the logbook, which I don't really use. In addition to that, to improve performance, you can switch on and off the reflections for the displays, for the instruments, and for the screens, or for the windows, which is really, really nice. We're not going to go through all the aircraft systems because there is a lot. You're talking about custom coded fuel systems, electric systems, realistic landing gears, functioning carburetors, things like that. So we're not going to go through all of that, but it is very, very nicely done. Otherwise, the other things that they have is Fmod. Using the Fmod sound system, we've got authentic sounds, custom sounds. We've got a comprehensive manual, which is I think a 72-page manual, plus a 25-page pilot's operating handbook, which gives you all these charts for takeoff performance, climb performance. You've got cruise performance, descent, landing, stall performance, all that kind of stuff, which is great. And then I've shown you all the pop-up windows that you have. System requirements for this, which I probably should have done earlier. Obviously, you need X-Plane 11. You're looking for an i5 6600K CPU minimum, running at about 3.5 gigahertz. I'm actually running this on an i7 4770K, which is doing absolutely fine. In fact, it's doing better than fine, though I have overclocked mine to 4.2 gigahertz, so that's why it's doing pretty well on it. I think a Ryzen should be fine with this. A Ryzen 5 is probably what you're looking for. Last generation should do it. New generation will easily do it, but last generation should do it, as long as you've got yourselves a decent Ryzen CPU. 8 gigabytes of RAM minimum. I recommend more than 8 gigabytes of RAM full stop for X-Plane. You need a DirectX 12 graphics card, so you're looking for perhaps a GTX 1070, something like that, maybe a 1660, the 20 series obviously. I don't know whether 980 will do the trick on this. A 980 might. 7 series definitely will not. And then the equivalent AMD. You want the equivalent AMD on that as well, which I'm not too familiar with what the equivalent AMD chips would be, or AMD graphics cards would be. Windows 10, 8 or 7, so it does work on Windows 7 still, though that's security updates are going to be stopping for that, so you will be upgrading from Windows 7. I highly recommend that now. Mac OS X 0.10 or higher, or a Linux system depending on what your install is, and you require 2 gigabytes of hard drive space. So that's everything with regards to this. What we're going to do now is, I suppose, let's do a cockpit tour. Let's close the doors, and I think at the back we'll pop over to the back. Let's have a look at this. So you can see the modeling and texturing is great in this. It's a bit grey, I will admit. It's a little bit grey. There's no red or anything like the arrow. like the floor's not red or anything, which would have been nice, but it's very, very well done. And you can just see that's really, really nicely done there. We'll close that, and you can just see sort of boot marks there. You can see it looks like there's luggage goes there. You've seen some suitcases or whatever placed in there. You've got it looks like things go there, and people have just obviously dragged things out. It's very, very well done there. I do like that. Don't know if these lights work. I guess we'll find out. Those definitely work at the front, and they come down parts way as well, or all the way, and you can see real-time reflections. I mean real-time shadowing on that. Very, very nicely done. Anything else back here to have a look at? Suppose not. Yeah, we should probably move right up to the front. Now let's see if I can figure out what all of this is and how much of it actually works. So we'll start, where should we start? Well, we've covered that window clearly works, has no noise for some reason. That's strange. We do have a little sign over here giving us our operation limitations. So we've got VNE, maximum cruise speed, flap speed, we've got our stall speed. Have we got our stall speed? We haven't got our stall speed actually. No stall speed, sorry. That's my mistake. We do have a bunch of speeds though over here. Stall speed will obviously be shown. Up there I think it's 60 knots. So let's have a look at all of this. Now first thing that did strike me is it says nav2 there, and then there's a clock. I'm assuming that there used to be a different display there on the original aircraft, and that's what they've got, and obviously it's been swapped out for a clock. Obviously there was also a display here. It looks like there was a second nav instrument there as well. That doesn't look like there was a nav instrument there. This does. So that's a little bit interesting, and that's been replaced with something else. But anyway, that's absolutely fine. We've got our outside air temperature right over here. See, it's got Fahrenheit on the outside, Celsius on the inside. We've got some cabin air controls right over here. All of these do work. We've got an alternate static air source there. I haven't managed to... I think you have to really be down here to move it. I haven't actually managed to move this. Maybe it doesn't move. I've not actually tried. But it is there, and it is labelled. Over here we've got ourselves, like I said, we've got a clock. We've got our standard 6-pack instrument set there, in addition to a whole load of other instruments. Airspeed indicator there, showing 60 knots as our stall speed. We've got 65, we've got red there, we've got a never exceed speed right there. Caution speed down to about 155 knots, 154 knots, 154 knots. We've got our maximum flap speed there, that's for full flaps configuration of 110. I think you can have 120 with flaps 10. Is it flaps 10? It does tell us over here. Flaps 20. Flaps 20 is 120. Flaps 35 is 110. We've got ourselves our attitude indicator right here, with obviously our bank angle indicator right up there. 10, 20, 30, 60 and 90. We've got ourselves two altimeters. We've got one altimeter here. This is our primary. We've got a secondary altimeter there. We can tune these independently. Not really sure why you do that. I suppose you could use one for... You could set one up for the pressure that you've got on the ground, and one once you've got past the transition altitude. Something like that. We've got manifold pressure here. So this is for both engines. So you'll have the engine manifold pressure there. So you've got right. There's also a left needle sort of hidden under that. I want to keep that in the green range. There's our second altimeter, our standby altimeter right there. We've got our turn coordinator right over here, and also bank angle indicator, I suppose, in a way. So you can see that with our spirit level, which I cannot remember the actual name for that. I think it begins with an O. I just cannot remember the name. We've got a horizontal situation indicator right over here. So this combines our heading bug with a navigation tool. So that's our course selector, heading selector, and then our little compass in there. VSI, as you would expect. So we've got a vertical speed indicator, standard on, as you'd always get, maximum 2,000 feet per minute, rate of climb or descent. Low voltage indicator, I believe. Press to test, obviously we can't because nothing's there. Tachometer for both engines, so you can see R, obviously there's an L under that. Normally they should be lined up as and where they are. We've got exhaust gas temperature right over here. So that's again for both engines, left and right. This one here, I'm not sure. This is a compass slaving control. I'm not sure how exactly that works. It does work, but I'm not sure exactly how it works. And then we've got starter warning lights right there. So when you're starting the engine, those should probably blink red for a couple of seconds. ADF needle right over here. So that works in conjunction with our ADF radio there. And then we've got another nav radio, also nav instrument, which also couples as our VOR, our ILS localizer. So we've got ILS there for glide slope, localizer, there's our localizer needle, or it can be in nav mode and just work as a localizer for a VOR, a VOR needle. Over here we've got ourselves compass deviation card, which is interesting. I've not seen this on another JustFlight aircraft as of yet, but it does have compass deviations, which is really quite cool. And then a couple of lights just telling us what mode we're in, whether it's VOR, ILS or GPS mode for our instruments. We'll come back to this afterwards. We'll move along this way. Over here we've got all our engine information. So we've got our fuel quantity on both tanks, fuel pressure, oil temperature, cylinder temperature, and over here we've got our load on the alternators, as well as little green lights there, and red lights there and there, which tells us whether we've got under or over voltage on either of them. Over this way we've also got, up here we've got our DME instruments. That will give us our DME, our range to whatever station we've got, things like that. Over here we've got our COM selector panel, as well as our marker enunciators. So you can see there we can have the sensitivity, high, low, or in test mode, and that will give us our markers, as well as selecting what we're actually listening to or transmitting on. So COM2, COM1, NAV1, NAV2, marker, ADF, DME, ICS auxiliary, SPR, I don't know what SPR is, as well as selecting that. And then we've got a transmit light right there. Below that we've got our standard X-Plane Garmin GNS 430, a standard GPS system right there, which also doubles as COM1 NAV1. And then underneath that we've got our transponder. This is the Benedict's King KT76 Alpha. Then we've got underneath that we've got our secondary radio, or second set of radios. This is COM2 and NAV2 on the KX165 Alpha, or 165A. And at the bottom, as I mentioned before, this is our ADF one. Now BFO doesn't work on it, FLTET doesn't work on it, and set reset doesn't work on it either. Only that one and that one works. In fact, ADF mode is what it's stuck in all the time, so you can't actually press that. So only really the frequency button works, which is a shame, but apparently I think it's not simulated in X-Plane. Across we've got ourselves a Centauri 4 autopilot system, heading, nav, approach, reverse, attitude, which is nice, altitude, glide slope, and GA, which I don't actually know, as well as pitch controls right there. Avionics master switches are over here, as well as a WX8 weather radar, which is quite cool. Another outside air temperature gauge right there, which should match up with this one. And then we've got our flight hours on this, which is showing me to have 4.25. I have not had that much. When I actually got in the aircraft, it had set it as 3 for some reason, and I still haven't had 4.25, so I don't really know why it's actually done that. Moving, we'll move across this way, I suppose. I just popped out a circuit. This here, as you've just realised, is a circuit breaker. We've got the 2 buses, bus 1, bus 2, and we've got all our circuit breakers. And you can pop the switches there, or the breakers. That obviously is our click for our yoke. We're going to get rid of that because we need to be able to see everything. Flaps gauge is here. Now, interestingly enough, the flaps are not stages. They are actually continuous operations, so you have to hold that to bring the flaps up and down, and then when you stop, it just stops wherever it is. You can see there, that's our flap operation handle. We've got our lighting for the instrument flood lighting, and then post lights are the lights behind the gauges. Parking brake right there. We've got our mixture prop and our throttle right there. Carburetor heat underneath that. Cowl flaps right there. Fuel selectors right over here. I should probably have those off right at this point in time. I suppose so. I'll just leave them on. But those do work. Down here we've got ourselves some trim controls. We've got wing trim, rudder trim and nose trim. So we've got that right there. Is my rudder trim okay? Yeah, everything seems to be okay. Moving on to this part, and I think this is the last part right here. These are our main controls for electronics. So we've got our alternator left and right, master battery switches right there. We've got our starters right here, plus a little click spot in the middle. It says push to prime. Click in the middle, it will push that in. You can prime the engine. Only do that maximum of 3 times, otherwise I think you will flood it, and then you have to go through flood engine procedures. Over on this side we've got our vacuum pump. I think you probably want this about 5.25. That's where I would expect it. I don't know what exactly it's going to be on this aircraft, but that's what I'm expecting. We've got our landing lights, or shall I say our landing gear indicator lights. So you've got 3 down, and then you've got the red light to say whether it's in transit. And it also tells us max extension 140 knots. I think we have to bring it up by 120. I think that's when we have to bring it up by. Landing gear control is right there. Auxiliary fuel pumps right there. Heater, electronic trim, which you need to have on for, I think, for your trim to actually work on your yoke. Otherwise you have to use the manual trim down there. Autopilot has to be on if you want to be able to use that autopilot system, which is a little bit strange because you think, well, you've got to switch that on and that on. A little bit strange, but that's how it is. You've got pitot heat right there, cab blowers, and then you've got your lights, strobes, nav, taxi, landing light. No beacon lights on this aircraft, which is a little bit strange. But that is everything on the aircraft. So, now that we're comfortable with it, actually we've got our whiskey compass up there as well, which is sort of normal. Now that we're comfortable with the aircraft, I think what I'm going to do is just very quickly, I'm going to start this aircraft up and see just what it's like just on startup. We're not going to do anything else on it. We're not going to taxi or anything like that. That will be in the next video where we'll actually take it out for a flight, now that we're familiar with where everything is. And it's really important to familiarize yourself with where everything is, especially if we start off, for example, something like that. So, parking brake set, check. I like these. You click these, they go green. Avionics are off. Mixture is on idle. Magneto start switches on, off. Battery switch on. There we go. Battery switch is on. Fuel gauge check quantity. We have about 1/3 of a tank, which is great. Warning lights check, low voltage, undervolt, and then we've got those lights there. We don't need to really look at those. That's fine. Flaps check operation. As you can see, I can hold them. The moment I let go, it just stops, which is really good. So I'll bring the flaps all the way down. Check both sides. There we go. Flaps good. We'll bring them up. Don't want to drain the battery too much. Why is this on? It should be off. Why is that on? I don't actually know why this is on. All the avionics should be off, but for some reason this is on. Maybe I've missed the button for that. Oh well. That's fine. Battery switch can now go off. Flight controls check operation. So we can just pull back, check the elevator if we wanted to from the outside. Check it. Left, right is great. Trims on neutral. Baggage door is closed. Flaps and ailerons have been checked. Now we'll just assume that we've checked all of these. Tie downs removed. All that kind of stuff, which should be fine. Oil level has been checked. You can check that on this. So you can see oil pressure. And I think oil level gets checked Wait, where does oil level get checked? Might be outside. Some of these have a little click spot to check the oil. I'll have to find that. I know there is a way to check these. Anyway, we'll go back inside. Go away. All this has been checked. Great. Brake set. Yep, landing gear is down. Circuit breakers are in. Carburetor heat is off. Right, now I've set my carb heat on that control. Cowl flaps need to go open. So we'll open up the cowl flaps. Avionics off. Fuel selectors on. That's those two. They are now on. Light switches off. Battery alternator switches on. There we go. Battery switch is on. Yep. Alternator out. Under voltage light is on. Mixture goes full rich. Prop goes to high RPM. Throttle goes to about 1/4 inch open. Auxiliary fuel pumps now go on. Magnetos need to go to... Right, we'll do it for one engine first. Then we'll do it for the other engine. So we've done that. We'll now prime it. One click. And start. Awesome. Right, engine start has been confirmed. Carburetor ice suspected. Shouldn't be icing. Should not be icing at all. I'll switch the carburetor heat on though. I really don't think it should be icing. That must be because it's a first start. No, it's saying that there's carburetor icing. Fine. And we'll do it for the next one as well. So we'll bring that throttle down. It's about 1,000. And you can see that's the left engine. Now we can start the right engine. Same process. There it comes. Perfect. It did over rev a little bit, didn't it? Absolutely fine. They're both stabilised. Perfect. No warning lights. And then we can switch on the avionics. Ah, that's why those were actually on for some reason instead of off. That's odd. I thought I had them pushed off. Well done. That's my fault. Switch that on to standby. Switch this on. Switch this on. There we go. Everything is now coming alive. We've got a fully working aircraft. And there we have it. So that's where I'm actually going to end it. We're not going to be continuing on our way. Let's take a look outside. You can hear it. It's a beautiful sounding aircraft. It really is. Just that low drone is absolutely beautiful. Very realistic. So thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video. Subscribe to the channel for more videos on X-Plane 11. Leave a comment in the comments box below letting me know what you think. Don't forget to support me on Patreon, www.patreon.com/ECGadget. Your support would be massively appreciated. It would really help me out. Also, you can find me on social media at ECGadgetLP for both Twitter and Instagram. That's all from me, and I'll see you guys in the next part of this review for X-Plane 11's Duchess Model 76 by JustFlight.